Hey guys, I was asked to make this video on how to close. This would be after a party, so I thought I'd take some time this Sunday morning and sit down and kind of share with you guys some of the tips or some tips and some things that I do. I've seen a lot of things go wrong after a presentation, and this would basically be after a presentation. After someone sat down through a 45-minute presentation, they've seen the deal. Here's what not to do, and I see it happen all the time, and um, it's because people are eager and they're really not sure what to do. But somebody will go up to someone after the party and say, "Hey, I'm so glad you come today." And they said, "Yeah, this was really interesting." You say, "Well, look, we want to help you do this. We don't want you to do it by yourself." And here's what they'll do. They'll take 5 minutes explaining how we're going to do it with them. All right. And that person goes, "Wow, that sounds really good." And they say, "Yeah, yeah." And then if you sign up today, we're going to work with you today. We're going to get your two parties scheduled. I mean, we're going to see who can come speak at your party. We're going to get the team to come out and support you. You saw how it happened today. You saw how it happened today. This is great. Your team shows up for you. And guys, what happens a lot, and they go, "We're going to run the system. We're going to make you a list of names. We're going to send out some messages. We're going to find out who's interested." And they go, "Well, I have some family here. I've got some people over here that I'm thinking automatically that would be good at this." And you go, "Well, don't prejudge anybody." And my point is literally, I've seen somebody after a 45-minute presentation go over there and try to do a 45-minute close. Are you kidding? Guys, don't do that. After they've seen a 45-minute presentation, that we need to move them along. All right. I've seen people talk people out of it. People that were like, "I'm already thinking of people that would like to do this," and then you get excited and you think if you keep talking that they're going to say, "Okay, sign me up." But what happens is they just keep listening, and you're probably talking them out of it, right? So there's a couple things. Remember this: silence when closing is your friend. Okay, when closing a deal, silence is your friend. So here's something I like to do. After the presentation's over and people have mingled just for a minute, I like to see who the prospects are, and I'll say, "Hey, John, come over here." Or if there's three or four different people in the room, I would be sitting at a table, or I'd be talking over the corner, kind of privately. I'd like to get them away from the crowd, and then have them do what I say. All right, and follow me on this. But basically, I would say, "Hey, you guys, hey, do y'all mind stepping over here for just a second?" So three or four, two or three guys, one or two come over here, and I lean up and say, "Hey, listen, um, I'm here right now, and I'm fixing to leave. But I know you over here talking, you're looking at this, and if you're going to do this, I don't want to leave with you enrolling, because I want to walk you through it. It take about 30 minutes. If you're going to do this, then I want to sit here for 30 minutes with you and walk you through it and help you get started, so that you don't really so you don't mess it up. And then if all you do is follow the instructions that I'll lay out for you in the next 30 minutes, and you'll have a lot of success. But if you're not going to do it, then I'm going to go ahead and leave. But because I'm here, I thought now would be a better time, as good as time as any, because we're both here together at the same time. So is this something y'all going to do? Okay, good, good. Well, all you do is here's the computer. Go ahead and enroll, and then we'll walk you through it, guys. Use that as a close. I like to do that. It's very effective. It works a lot. A lot of times, like I said, you just ask them to come over to where you are, or maybe you're talking to them and say, and there's a few people talking and say, "Well, look, can I talk to you over here? Look, I'm gonna leave, but if you enroll, I'm not." Okay, because if you enroll, I need to sit down with you and make sure, hold your hand through the first 30 minutes and really set you on a path to show you exactly how to sort, show you exactly what we do, and set you up for success. If you're not going to enroll right now, then I'm going to go ahead and go. But because we're both here, I figured if you're going to do it, I'd hate to leave and then you just be, left without me working with you personally. So is this something you're going to do? Okay, good. All right. Silence is your friend. Um, I was with a guy the other day, and I had a friend of mine with me who's in the business, and we were talking. Man, this guy, he had no idea. He hadn't been through a presentation at all, and so we were sitting down there talking. So there was a lot more talking going on and explaining stuff. And it got to the point where I was like, "Man, we've been talking for 45 minutes. I've shown him everything." And so I said, "Hey, look, are we just gonna talk about this, or are we gonna do it?" And there was probably a 5-second pause, and and I said, "Hey, look, I've shown you how this works. Are we gonna talk about it, or are we gonna do it?" He goes, okay, let's do it. I said, great. And the friend of mine that was there with me, he goes, man, Tim, that was the most awkward moment. He goes, the energy was so tense when you said, look, are we going to talk about it? Let's do it. He goes, that guy looked at you, you looked at him. And he goes, I was scared to talk. I was like, is anybody going to talk? That's silence, because the prospect, everybody feels the need to feel the void. They feel the vacuum of silence. And especially when there's that awkwardness there. Use that awkwardness. Don't be scared of it. Remember, fortune favors the bold, not the rude, but the bold. Look, I can help you out. I can walk you through it. And if you're going to do this today, because both of us are here, it just makes sense for us to get together and do it together right now. If you're not, I'm going to go ahead and go. So is this something you're going to do? Yes. Perfect. So that's one thing you can try. I'm going to talk to you and take a few more minutes and talk to you how to overcome objections. One of the biggest objections that you get is people say, one of the biggest objections you get is people say, well, let me think about it. And, when I first got started, they would say, well, I just really want to think about it. Now, there's a couple of let me think about it. One, you have to realize, are they just trying to brush me off? Because sometimes that's a nice way just to get rid of you. And if you've got other prospects in the room and someone says, well, I just need to think about it, then really evaluate if they're really saying they want to think about it, or if they're just saying, let me think about it, but really they just want you to go away. Because if there's other prospects in the room, just go to the other prospects. If there's not, and you just want to sharpen your skills a little bit, I love to do this. If they're the only prospect left, and I'm talking to them, or they're in the room, or they're the only one that showed up, and they go, well, I just need to think about it. Sometimes I just engage. And so here's some things you can do to help. Now, if they're sincerely saying, let me think about it, that's fine. There's some things we can do to help overcome that. And I wrote some of them down. But one of the best things you can do, once again, is say nothing. Someone says, so look, if you're here, I'm here, you're here, and because we're both here together, I figured it'd be easier. The timing would never be better for us just to sit down and do this together. So is this something you're going to do today? And if you're not, I'm going to go ahead and leave. If you are, then I'm going to stay here and work with you. And they go, I really need to think about it. And you go, and they go, well, because, and they'll start explaining why their objections are there, right? When they go, I really need to think about it, just be silent. Just be quiet. I really need to think about it. Well, my wife is this, and then they'll start, I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to my dad. I run all my business things past what you'll find out what the real objections are. And you want to know right then and there what they are. And a lot of times what I say, this is a common one. I really need to talk to my wife. I really need to talk to my husband. I really need to talk to whoever. What I like to do at that point is to say, well, how long have you been married? Oh, 3 years. Wow. So you feel, them pretty well, huh? It wouldn't matter if they said 6 months or 25 years, but we've been married for 3 months. Oh, 3 months. Wow. Do you feel like you really know them? Yeah. Well, what do you think they're going to say when you tell them about this? And so now I can, I start kind of really figuring out what the objections are and helping her what to say, or him what to say, depending on who it is. Another thing that you can do when they say, well, let me think about it. You can say, that's fine. I completely understand. If I was in your position, I'd want to take a little bit of time and kind of digest the information myself. But let me ask you, when do you think would be a good time for me to give you a call back and see what you had to think? Or set a time limit yourself. Say, hey, that's fine. No big deal. Look, I'm free this afternoon. This is really good. I'm free this afternoon between this time and this time, or I'm free tomorrow between this time and this time. Can I give you a call back then and sit down with you and meet with you and help you get started if this is something you're going to do? Set a time limit on how long they can think about it and agree with them. Say, yeah, I understand. I did the same thing. I needed to think about it as well. So let me ask you, are you tomorrow? Could I give you a call and give you some time to think about it? I'll call you back tomorrow. And if this is something you want to do, I'm going to sit down with you and help you do it. Does that sound good? Good. So guys, those are a few things. Let me see what else. Yeah, so here's something else that you could do. When some probe for how legitimate their concerns are. So if they say, let me think about it, say, look, I completely understand. I'd want to think about it as well. Let me ask you though, what are some of your concerns, or what are some of the things that you're thinking about right now that you're trying to go through your mind? And let them tell you, okay? Let them explain it to you. I would say, what are some of the concerns you have, or What's the cause of the hesitation, or what is the number one concern about proceeding further that where you're at right now? What's going on in your mind? So let me think about it. Yeah, I completely understand. I'd want to think about it too. No big deal. But look, what are some of the main concerns you're going through? So maybe I can kind of give you some information that would help you make the decision as you're thinking about it. Or what are what's one of the biggest things that's causing you to stop? So guys, these are a few things that you can do to help close. Have a bunch of closes. I have several closes. But really, it's attitude. It's understanding that, look, until you purchase the Fast Track Pack, you're not going to reap the benefits. You're not going to get the product, and you're not going to be able to make any money. The best thing, I can't help you until you've purchased a Fast Track Pack. All right, I'm not going to sit down and go 45 minutes with you on work this deal with you if you haven't even purchased the Fast Track Pack. You have to purchase the Fast Track Pack. Until you purchase the Fast Track Pack, nothing that I can do will benefit you. Be bold. Let silence be your best friend. If you can learn how to manipulate the silence, you'll kill it every single time. Hope this has helped, guys. These are some tips on how to close after your party.